I'm sure it would not surprise you that one of the most common things I hear from people after a cancer diagnosis is, my body betrayed me. And honestly, when someone says that, I totally get it. Cancer showed up inside your body. You were just fine, you did nothing wrong, and bam, your body developed cancer. And then treatment changed your body. Your body may no longer look, feel, or function the way it once did. You might be thinking, yes, my body did betray me. Yet, what if there is another way to understand what happened? What if a random cellular mistake does not deserve the power to define your relationship with your body for the rest of your life? What if the body you are frustrated with is actually the same body that has been fighting for you every second of every day? Let's talk about it. This is the After Cancer Podcast. I'm your host, oncology physical therapist, Dr. Leslie Waltke. For more than 3 decades, I've walked alongside people living with and beyond cancer. Whether you are a survivor, a caregiver, or part of a clinical team who cares for them, I'm glad you're here. Because life after a cancer diagnosis can feel uncharted and confusing, even when you have a great medical team. In this podcast, evidence, empathy, and the real human experience come together to help you navigate the physical, emotional, and practical realities of cancer and the life that comes after. This is the After Cancer Podcast, rooted in medicine, spoken in human. Hello, After Cancer community, and welcome back to episode 15. Can you trust your body again after a cancer diagnosis? This episode is brought to you in partnership with Cure. And as with all episodes of the After Cancer podcast, I hoped to be your guide through conversations that really need to happen after a cancer diagnosis, but don't always get enough attention. If you are new here, I encourage you to check out our Cancer 101 series in episodes 9 through 12, where we explore what cancer is, how surgery works, how chemotherapy works, and how radiation therapy works. And as we move toward the final episode of season 1, I also want to thank the entire After Cancer community for being a part of this fabulous growth. We are moving towards episode 18, which will be our season 1 finale, and then we will take a short pause before launching season 2. If you have ideas for future topics, I would love to hear them. Put them in the comments. So, let me start with a simple question. What was your body doing before cancer? Well, it was breathing for you, healing cuts, fighting infections, repairing damage to DNA, building muscle, remodeling bone, digesting food, maintaining blood pressure, producing hormones, monitoring threats, keeping you alive. And then what was your body doing during cancer? Well, pretty much the same thing. The human body is one of the most remarkable systems in existence. Every second, millions of cells die and are replaced. DNA is copied. Errors are detected and corrected. The immune system identifies threats. Proteins are manufactured. Tissues are repaired. And most of this happens without you ever noticing. In fact, scientists estimate that DNA damage occurs in your cells thousands of times every day. Thousands. Yet most of those errors are corrected. Your body has entire systems dedicated to protecting you. Think about that for a moment. Your body is not sitting around waiting to fail. Your body is working around the clock to keep you alive. That is why I sometimes struggle with the idea that cancer automatically means your body betrayed you. Now, yes, one cell went rogue and led to something dangerous. Cancer is tragic. Cancer is disruptive. Cancer can be devastating. Yet betrayal implies intent, and your body was never intentionally working against you. Outside of that cellular error, your body has been working for you the entire time. Yes, it happened once, and it's terrifying to think that if it happened once, that it could happen again. There is nothing not true about that statement. The concern, though, is that this feeling of betrayal can set in play an adversarial relationship with your own body that can actually hurt your mental and physical health. One of the challenges is that cancer survivors often judge their bodies based on one outcome. Cancer happened. Therefore, my body failed. But imagine evaluating a professional athlete based on one mistake in an entire career. Imagine evaluating a marriage based on one difficult month. Or imagine evaluating a friendship based on one argument, or a child on one mistake. We would never ignore all the successes and focus only on one event. Yet many survivors do exactly that with their bodies. A random cellular error occurs, and suddenly, decades of successful function are erased from the story. The body that carried children, the body that worked long hours, the body that recovered from injuries, the body that climbed mountains, the body that learned new skills, the body that survived illnesses, the body that endured treatment. Yes, the body can be incredibly vulnerable. Look what happened to you due to one rogue cell. Yet still, trust and respect for your body should not be overshadowed by that one single replication error. So let's look more at a more complete story. I remember a woman who completed breast cancer treatment and said, "I am so angry at my body." We talked through everything she endured: surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, fatigue, fear. Then I asked her a different question. I said, "What was your body doing while all of that was happening?" And she paused and then started listing things like, well, it was healing incisions, recovering blood counts, managing medications, repairing tissues, adapting, surviving. And suddenly the conversation changed. Her body had not been sitting on the sidelines. It had been doing the hardest work of her life. That perspective matters because resentment and partnership lead to very different futures. If you believe your body is your enemy, you tend to fight it. You criticize it. You punish it. You distrust it. You stop listening to it. But if you believe your body is your teammate, you start asking different questions. How can I support it? How can I help it recover? How can I work with it instead of against it? How can we build the strongest future possible together? That is the framework I want you to consider today. Not perfection, partnership. One of the most remarkable concepts in biology is resilience. People often think resilience means toughness. It doesn't. Resilience means adaptability, the ability to respond to challenge, the ability to adjust, the ability to recover. And the human body is astonishingly resilient. When you strength train, muscles adapt. When you walk regularly, your cardiovascular system adapts. When you practice balance, your nervous system adapts. When you experience injury, healing systems activate. When one pathway is damaged, the brain often develops alternatives through neuroplasticity. Adaptation is what the body does. It is one of its defining characteristics. And this is why cancer rehabilitation exists. Cancer rehab is built on a simple evidence-based cornerstone. The body can still improve. Function can still improve. Quality of life can still improve. Length of life can still improve. Strength can still increase. Mobility can still increase. Confidence can still increase. If adaptation were impossible, rehab would not work. Yet every single day we watch survivors regain function, not because their bodies betrayed them, but because their bodies are still responding, still learning, still adapting, still trying. I remember a survivor who came to rehab convinced she would never regain hip function after her cancer surgery. At first, she could barely stand upright without pain. Weeks later, though, she could walk. Months later, she was gardening again. What changed? Well, certainly not her determination alone. Her body changed. Her tissues adapted. Her nervous system adapted. Her muscles adapted. Her body participated in the recovery. That is partnership. I also think about survivors who tell me, I don't recognize my own body anymore. That feeling is real. Cancer changes appearance. Cancer changes sensation. Cancer changes energy. Cancer can change identity. But not recognizing your body is different from your body betraying you. One is grief, the other is war. And I worry that too many survivors spend years fighting a war against themselves. They criticize every scar, every pound gained, every pound lost, every limitation, every reminder. Meanwhile, though, the body is still trying to move forward, still healing, still adapting, still carrying them through life. So, what if we treated our bodies the way we treat a trusted teammate who had also been through something traumatic? We would not scream at them for struggling. We would support them, encourage them, work with them, invest in them, offer patience. So, why should the relationship with our own bodies be any different? This is one reason movement matters so much after cancer. And again, I'm not talking about punishment. I am not talking about earning health. I am not talking about trying to become the person you were before diagnosis. Movement is communication. Exercise is collaboration. Rehabilitation is partnership. Every time you walk, stretch, strengthen, breathe deeply, or challenge your balance, you are sending a message. We are still building. We are still adapting. We are still moving forward. Though denying or not acknowledging resentment, again, is not the point. It is okay to feel anger and resentment. It's okay to hold on to it. Yet don't let it fully lead you. Your best future is not built through resentment. It is built through partnership. And that idea becomes especially important because survivorship is often long. Many people live decades after cancer. Think about that. Decades. And do we really want a random cellular mistake to define the relationship we have with our bodies for the next 30 years? A random cell division error should not have that much power. So yes, acknowledge the losses. Yes, honor the grief. Yes, recognize the changes. But do not let one biological event erase an entire lifetime of evidence that your body is brilliant and has been working for you. I sometimes ask survivors a simple question. What would change if you treated your body like a teammate instead of an enemy? The answers are typically fascinating. Well, people say they would move more, improve their sleep, eat differently, speak to themselves differently, take better care of themselves, give themselves more grace. So, notice what is happening here? The moment partnership enters the conversation, behavior changes. That matters because behavior shapes recovery. The stories we tell ourselves matter. If the story is, my body failed me, the future often becomes smaller. If the story is, my body has been through something difficult, the future remains open. If the story is, my body and I are building the next chapter together, possibility enters the room. And ultimately, that is what I want for you. Possibility. Not denial, not toxic positivity, not pretending cancer was a gift. Just possibility. The possibility that healing is still happening. The possibility that adaptation is still occurring. The possibility that your body is still on your side. As we begin approaching the end of season 1, I think this conversation connects to many episodes we have already explored. So please go back and check out episode 4 on living with a hypervigilant body, episode 6 on living with survivor guilt, episode 14 on the relationship changes that can happen after a diagnosis, episode 13 on the importance of exercise, activity, and rehab, and episode number 1 on claiming your identity after cancer. But ultimately, the common thread is that cancer changes the story people tell themselves. Sometimes those stories just need some updating. Maybe the story is not that your body betrayed you. Maybe the story is that your body encountered something extraordinarily difficult. Maybe the story is that your body survived surgery, survived chemotherapy, survived radiation, survived uncertainty. Maybe the story is that your body continues showing up for you every single day, every heartbeat, every breath, every step, every attempt to heal. Now, before we close, I want to return to where we started. If your immediate reaction to this episode is still, nope, Dr. L, my body definitely betrayed me, I hear you. You do not have to agree with me. You do not have to force a new perspective. Yet I would encourage you to consider one possibility. The body you are angry with may also be the body that fought for you every second of every day. The body you are frustrated with may also be the body trying to heal today. The body you live in today may not be the body you planned on having. It may carry scars. It may carry limitations. It may carry reminders of everything you have endured. But it is also carrying you. A random cellular mistake does not deserve the power to permanently destroy the relationship you have with the body that has fought for you your entire life. You need your body. Your body needs you. The strongest future is not built through resentment. It's built through partnership. The future is built together. So here, as we wrap up, here are your episode 15 reflection prompts to consider. Number 1, if you viewed your body as a teammate instead of an enemy, what is one thing you would start doing differently this week? Number 2, what has your body done for you since your cancer diagnosis that you rarely give it credit for? And number 3, what story have you been telling yourself about your body since cancer? And is that story helping you build the future that you want? Please share your responses in the comment section. I love reading them, and I know the other listeners do as well. And also, before we wrap up, a quick shout out to ABCD, After Breast Cancer Diagnosis. ABCD provides free virtual personalized emotional support by matching anyone impacted by breast cancer with a trained volunteer mentor who has a similar lived experience. Learn more about getting support or becoming a mentor at abcdbreastcancersupport.org. Thank you for joining me for episode 15 of the After Cancer podcast. Next week, in episode 16, we continue our conversation with a very important episode. This one is on living with metastatic cancer. And as we prepare for the conclusion of season 1, again, I would love to hear your ideas for season 2 topics. Until next time, remember, survivorship is a deeply complicated human experience, not a finish line. Exercise like your life depends on it, because it does. Peace out. Let's talk again soon.